Isn't that something? Oh my goodness. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough, and then I will go back and talk about techniques and whatnot after. So here's the front of the book. Gorgeous. What can I say? Here's the spine. Tassel with some charms and beads on it. And the back is left simple. But I think the papers give it enough interest. Okay, now I have to do this upside down to me so you can see it. And I need to zoom out a little bit. Here's the inside cover. As you can see, it's a waterfall. I decorated this resin piece to be the closure. So we got a magnet going on. She is entirely glued down, so this is decorative, totally, this piece. And the papers are the same, alternating throughout. Lots of room here for photographs before you even get started. This is adhered down by a magnet, so it's a little hidden place for a photo or some journaling. And I've hidden my my tag underneath that shows this is the 4th one that I have numbered this year. Oh, fun little things with magnets. I watch Anna's paper creations, and that girl inspires me to no end. I love her stuff. In fact, this binding is of her design, and I'm finding that I think I really like it. Okay, this page opens this way and opens this way. This has a postcard I created, and I will come back and tell you how I did that. There are 2 photo mats in this pocket. I left the backs without any paper on them on purpose. So you can take a white gel pen and write on it, or you can print something on your computer and write on it, or you can just mount a photo, whatever the end receiver wants to do. And by not adding the extra papers on the back, I help keep the bulk down so that when the photos are added, this doesn't get too bulky. Again, magnet closure here. Tag. One of the cut aparts. Again, the back is blank. Okay. As you can see, there's nice white gutters. So there's room for these to expand. The fence here holds a tag in it. This folds down. It also opens, and it has a pocket page with 2 tags. Again, magnets. The next page flips up. And then flips down. Again, magnet here and a magnet here. There's the photo mat for this one. Again, the back side is left blank on purpose. The next page is a multiple pocket page. Tag here, tag here, tag here. And these progressively get larger. This is a little clip, just holding this piece of chipboard. The window has a tag in it. The ladies are not glued down, so you could tuck something back in there. If you magnet closure flips open. It's another pocket page. It's got three tags in it and a large photo mat. These are so pretty. That was a nice way to utilize them. I didn't tell you, they're pockets, all of them. They're glued down to be a pocket, so you could put something in. You can actually put a picture behind, put journaling here, or you can just cover the whole thing. Silly me for not telling you that. Oh, goodness sakes, come on. Oh, it'll be difficult later. Okay. The next page is a frame that I built from the papers, and has this giant photo mat in it. I covered it with the, I put the plastic here for stability. Okay, this is one of my favorite pages that I've done. And so this totally comes off, but it keeps the pages closed. It's really strong. This has a magnet on it and flips up. Let me see where I need to go here. Okay, so these pages mirror each other. So these are both little journaling books. They are glued down. And we open up to two pocket pages that have tags in them. And just goes home almost by itself. Oh, let's tuck that tassel back in there. Here's its mat. Again, they all do that. Yeah, I think this set of pages are just gorgeous. I was so thrilled. Okay, this is the closure. Slides right behind her. It's on a magnet and it's on a double set. So if as you fill this up, the magnet will still hold. Even though it's tight here, you can put it on a second magnet up here and it'll be looser around the photos. These are glued down. They're not any hidden goodies here. This is totally a decorative piece. If you put a photo under here, you might make it so the magnets wouldn't stick, and that would not be good, I don't think. So this waterfall goes down where the other one flipped up. And again, it's just the same papers alternating. This page opens this way, opens this way, and this flips open. I am just so thrilled with the overall look of these two pages. There's its photo mat. Last page and the inside cover. This is a pocket page again with tags and a large photo mat. And this is a tag that's held on with a magnet, and it's got this little turning spot underneath of it that hides the magnets. What fun, huh? Okay, for the how I did it part. The cover, well, let's see, the book and the binding are from Anna's Paper Creations. She's on YouTube, and she does have her own website, and she has a great tutorial on how to do both. I did the one with the expanded accordion folds, so the book will lay flatter. And when we get to the inside, I will show you more about what I did when I created my version. The face of this cover is a sheet of black where I've embossed a border of gold, and I used Ranger's Ancient Gold, Princess Gold, and I believe this is a discontinued product. There is some still available out in the world. I love this. I like this one and their Antique Gold, which is a little bit green. Amazing stuff. This is a Spellbinders. It's a Spellbinders Shapeabilities. It's Parisian Accents, and I used this one, this one, this one, and this one, I think. I have both of the Parisian Accents sets, and I just like it for the, makes a pretty border, top and bottom here. The other thing that isn't from the papers is the bird cage, which is a memory box die. Everything else is cut from the papers. The metal pieces are from my stash. They're technically beads, but you know, who'd want to? Now, the pieces, this piece was cut from the cover as well as this piece, so they have a glossy finish to them. So I took pieces that I cut out, this girl, and the flowers, and I gave them a coat of clear embossing powder, and I just one single coat, and it made them shine like the rest of it. I'm really, really pleased. The paper in the background was really bright, and let me see if I can find a scrap of it. See how bright this is? Well, I did about probably 3 layers. But I used pan pastel, and this one is iridescent. I think they call it white, or maybe they call it pearl. White, fine, pearl, medium. And I have all the iridescent colors. I really, really like this stuff. So I put 3 layers on there, and it toned down the background a little bit. The next is, let's put the spine. And this is from the sticker collection, as is this, and I just mounted this one on some black cardstock and cut around it. This is 3 tassels and some beads that I had in my stash, and a wide eyelet, and I got these on eBay. They come, as you can see, in various colors. And I use them now and again. The inside is held by another one of these glass beads and a little bit of hot glue on the inside. The back is simply a piece of paper glued down, and I used matte Mod Podge. Now you can see, let's see if I can angle this so you can see in here. I don't know if I can. Yes. On the back of this expandable spine, before I glued it in, I put a piece of pattern paper, and I also put a piece on the back of the chipboard, so it's decorated. It's not just plain black. I could have left it black, but I chose not to. Now, when I put when I build my pages, I do use Tyvek on the places that'll hinge, where the pages will go back and forth. And that is something that Anna recommends from Anna's Paper Creations, but I've done it forever. So, you know, sometimes 2 people can have the same thought. The inside cover, I used this Spellbinders dies throughout. This piece looked just like this before I started on it. And you can buy these like this online. You can find a mold that you can make your own pieces like this. I got mine on eBay. Now, I'll tell you what I did to color it. I used Ranger alcohol inks, and I used the cranberry, and I started out with it on the roses, and then when all said and done, I took a Q-tip with some blending solution on it and just made this lighter. This here is gold, and it is, it's Gilder's paste, and I love this stuff. I probably will never have to buy any more as long as I live. I have had this 6 months now, I think, and I use it quite a bit. Oh, I also used it to gild the edge of the pages all the way around. And then I used some stickles for the glitter. It's a very pretty little piece. The waterfall is just a waterfall. This is a magnet ribbon. There's a magnet back here. There's a magnet under her, which I mounted on a piece of black so I could put the magnets between. I did adhere this down. We have hidden spots here. And the back sides, you could put journaling or whatnot on. I've already seen that. Let's see. These are fussy cut from the papers. This is a, I don't know if it's a Tim Holtz metal piece. I may have picked it up at Michael's. And again, magnets underneath. Now I use these guys, and I get them from China. And they're not at all expensive. That's what, $10 for 100 of them. So, and they're very strong, very strong. I also, when I need extra strength, I know who'd have figured smaller is stronger, but these are a little thicker. So I will use these, and I use these on my double gatefold that you'll see, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. I don't think there's anything special in here. Oh, the postcard. This was tons of fun. This is a Tim Holtz stamp. This is a stamp from the paper collection. So I did this in sepia, I believe. I think it'd be right here on top. Ranger Archival Sepia. I use it and black all the time. This is just something from my stamp collections, this corner piece. And the bird is a graphic 45. I think it's from the the Botanical Tea collection. But I simply stamped it on with black. And then I used my my distress inks for the color, and the watercolor pen from Ranger. This is the fine point one. And I take this or anything that's plastic that the ink won't, that's non-porous, glass would work too. And I just open up my ink pad and I just dab a bit. Let me get some white under there. Just dab a bit, and I can have quite a few colors around here. And then I use my water pen and I dip into that, and I color whatever it is I want to color. And if I remember the colors I used on the bird, wild honey, frayed burlap, and the blue I think is broken china. It could be peacock feathers. I didn't put anything on the back. Now when I did these, I use a full sheet of paper. And I just draw 4 areas. So I do 4 at a time. So if it doesn't exactly work out, then I have the next one to move on to. Now this one you can see has got a smudge here. And my ink pad flipped over. I don't know what I was doing, but I knocked it and it flipped it over and it left this mark. I like the mark. So I used it in, I just went ahead and used it. This edge is created with this Martha Stewart punch. It is currently available. I do not know its name. It's something Arches, I think. But let me show you how I consistently get these to work. And the trick is, okay, so this is 5 1/4 inches. So I start this, and every single time I start at this edge and I punch. I'll take a piece of pattern paper that's exactly the same size. I'm not going to use a whole sheet. I don't need to make another tag. But if you make this exactly the same size as the background, your length will be perfect when you're done. So see, this is the same width. Now here's what I do. And let me zoom in. You see the edge there? I take this in just about 1/8 of an inch, which is about where that arch starts. And I cut it. Okay, now you'll see when this edge is lined up here, well, you line it up like that. Where I want to cut to get the same 1/8 inch is about halfway between the apex of that curve and the deepest point down there. And usually on my cutter here, taking it to this point right up against this right here is usually perfect. And if it's still too long, I'll do it again. It's still too long. But always take little bites. Little bites. because you can't put it back on. And with the amount that this punch takes off, it leaves the perfect amount at the bottom, just like on this one. So it's relatively easy to get these to match up. No rocket science involved at all. You know, I don't think I have anything else that's special. This is simply ultrafine silver embossing powder to create that. I do use Versamark. I happen to like it a lot. I have tried other brands. I've not been thrilled with them. Oh, the tags. The tags are fun. Oh, for goodness sakes. Now, this is the particular set I used. You can use anything you want. I used Spellbinders, Nestabilities, Labels 20. Let me zoom back out. Ow. Okay, so my 2 pieces of card, and you make your side width as whatever size you want. So I cut the background piece, and then I cut my pattern paper. I line them together at the top. You can mark where center is, or you can just eyeball it. Whatever you're comfortable with. Now, you slide your die so only one edge will cut. Okay? So you've got this through the die. Now you just figure out where you want this to be. And now I'll use a little piece of this tape, and I will tape it down, and then I run it through my machine. And I've got some of those cut. It cut like this, and then I just pull it down, and that gives you your perfect border on the top. You cut to however tall you want it. Cut the other one a 1/4 of an inch longer, or whatever makes you happy. Punch your corners or not. Again, whatever makes you happy. Ink your edge of your pattern paper and adhere them together. Works beautifully. Okay, the window. This is a Tim Holtz die. It's the window die. I cut it out. I used my Versamark pen, and I just ran right on those lines that the die leaves, the impression, and then I embossed it with gold embossing powder, again the Princess, and then I took my black fine point artist pen and did these lines, glued it down around the edge to create a pocket. Voila, all done. This is, it's a hair bobby pin, and this is a tag that I mounted on some paper. So it made a nice little element to put here. Fussy cut from the paper. Nope, no real techniques here. Ah, okay. This is the first time I'd ever done anything that big, a frame like that. So I learned something from it. And what I learned was build your frame, adhere your clear plastic, and then mount the frame to the board. I did it backwards because the plastic was last. And I use overhead projector stuff. Right on transparency film. And honest to God, the only reason I use this is because it's in it's in my office supplies from many years ago when we used to give seminars, and we wrote stuff on an overhead projector screen. So until I run out of those 100 sheets, that's what I'll use. Let's see. I don't know if you could pick up the little bit of sparkle that's on here and here, but that's from that Pan Pastels. Okay, this is where, because I need it to be strong. There's a lot of paper for it to go through here to, and a lot of weight for it to keep closed. This is where I use these littler magnets, and again I get them really inexpensively on eBay. They're okay, they're 5 millimeters wide, and they're not very thick either. Can you see that? There, the camera to focus on that. So they're small and they're mighty, but they're a little thicker. You see, they're thicker than the other ones. Come on, camera. Okay. But I have tons of them, and I just ordered more, so I use them a lot. Let's see, I don't think I have any special techniques at all here. Again, this is just 4 magnets. They're hidden under here and here. That could go on top if you wanted. Who's to say what's right? This is not so special. No, the gold around here is simply just gold foil paper, and it's relatively thin, so I just mount it on cardstock and then cut it out to whatever shape I need it to be. Nothing special there. This was the gold foil I just spoke of, and I used my a stamp from the set and just embossed it with black. No big deal there. This again is Parisian Accents. This is Tim Holtz, and I had it laying around, you know, from a previous project. It was out of craft paper, so I just inked it up with my Versamark, and I did the gold embossing on it. And these again are cut aparts from the paper. And again, I did the postcard I did the same way. I just used watercolors, the Distress, Tim Holtz Distress, and just made watercolor out of it, and I was so thrilled with that. It looks like an old postcard to me. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Really hope you were inspired to do something of your own. I will see you again soon.